Hi everyone, it's Jake and Nadia. This is Sedona and Buddy, and Babu's over there downstairs.
He's getting up to bad stuff, probably.
We are today going to review
We have a Ghost, starring Anthony Mackie, David Harbour, some other people, but those are the big names attached to it. It was number one on Netflix for a while, and it's coming from the writer-director of kind of like horror comedies that we really like. He did Freaky with Vince Vaughn. He did the Happy Death Day films, which we really like. We reviewed those on this channel. We had high expectations going in. We were like, oh, it's the same guy. I want to know what your reaction was, because I thought this was quite different from those films.
I would rate it, are you surprised, 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
Okay.
Good solid 7. I actually liked it. Some parts could have been funnier, but the reason why I don't rate it higher is because it's very predictable.
Uh-huh.
I thought the Happy Death Day was not as predictable when we watched it. There were like really, I was taken back by like some of the funny scenes and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I think those other movies that the filmmaker of this film made were over the top funny, and this one I just found funny, but not over the top funny.
Halfway through the movie, it starts to dawn on me like, okay, this is basically a Spielberg 80s movie, E.T. style. There used to be a million E.T. ripoffs in the 80s. Not necessarily E.T., but like a weird outsider comes to be a part of the family and teaches the family a lesson, like that's basically it. E.T., Harry and the Hendersons, there's so many. There's a great scene with Jennifer Coolidge where she's like a hack paranormal TV person or whatever. And like it was very far-fetched, and like the social media such stuff was kind of cringy and very like, all right, we get it. But I thought, okay, we'll see where it takes this to the logical end. But then it became very apparent, like, okay, it's just E.T., but with a David Harbour as a ghost. So I was liking it at first, but then it just totally lost me. It was overlong, got so schmaltzy. It didn't have to do much. And I remember pausing it and I was like, okay, we're getting to the last act of the movie. And it was only halfway through. I was like, really? Like, do we really need to drag this out? But they dragged it out and it just wasn't enough meat there. And I thought that the execution was really not great, especially when it's like, this used to be a genre that was so popular, these kind of family movies with like an outsider coming in to teach the family a lesson. It's like, this used to be so common. It just feels like it's kind of sad that we've kind of lost that ability to just like tell that story in a concise way. This felt so bloated and sentimental in a way that wasn't earned.
So what would you rate it?
4.
Wow. Okay. I thought you liked it a lot more. I actually didn't mind the points that you were talking about. I actually thought that it was pretty consistent, except for this one scene in the spoiler section that I can talk about. But I guess like overall, there was a little bit before the ending that felt really stagnant. So what's the point? And I also have criticism about the whole ghost and the relationship that he's had, especially towards the ending.
All right.
Other than that, I found it funny. I do agree that the influencer kind of like storyline is a little cringy.
Yeah.
You could tell it was kind of written by someone who has an idea about that, but not necessarily. I feel like it's like whenever you think about influencer, it always goes towards like Jake or Logan Paul type of person.
Well, of course. I mean, that's like...
And it's just like...
Yeah.
I guess it's really cringy being like, for example, like there's booktubers, there's all these other stuff. It's just cringy that's the perspective of all YouTubers is.
Well, you really have to suspend your disbelief a lot, because when you look at the footage of like, we have a ghost and they're showing the footage of the ghost and it's going viral. It's like, that looks so fake. Because like, like it's the movie, obviously, but like the movie effects weren't that good, I thought. No way at all that it could ever possibly like blow up like that and people would be like, wow, it's real. People would just like not care at all, And it becomes so far-fetched in that sense that you really have to kind of turn off your brain a little bit and just be like, okay, whatever. It's what.
No, I agree. I agree. I think that there is like some disbelief but I think it's just supposed to be over the top and kind of like Death Day, but like...
But then it becomes super sappy, and then it's like, really, do we need that? Like, the beats it had to hit were so simple, and it's like, yeah, just hit those beats, and you have, like, a nice movie. But then we come to the end, and it just grinds, and it's like every beat that it could have easily hit with, like, a couple lines. It's just, like, pages of dialogue. It was just like, do we really need this?
No, I agree. Shall we move on to the spoiler section?
Yes.
I think we both recommend watching it.
I don't.
I think I recommend watching it. All right. Spoilers, 3, 2, 1. So the criticism that I have is at the end when the ghost, his name is Randy.
Even after they find out his name is Randy, they still call him Ernest,
Okay,
the man who killed him.
Yeah.
So they find out his name isn't Ernest, but
it's Randy.
Oh, the guy. We're just gonna keep
Ernest,
calling you your murderer's name.
Yeah, exactly. But I also thought it was interesting how like he remembers everything, but at the end, he really made more of a connection with this boy who discovered him instead of his daughter. Like, he doesn't wish his last words weren't to his, or his last moments weren't to with his daughter.
I know, it was like so
and
silly.
I thought it was so interesting because like his whole reason why he's held up is because he got murdered, his daughter was taken from him, like, you know, he's really like traumatized about his daughter, but like it just seems like they have a small moment together.
Well, they could have done it in a much more simpler and effective way, like, you know, just like he has to go now and it's like a happy moment, and then the daughter doesn't even have to have any lives. She's just like an older woman now. And she just like, they bring her there. She walks up onto the beach and hugs him, and then he vanishes.
She has some lines, but yeah.
But she like talks to him, and then it's like the kid has more dialogue with him, and it's like,
well, that's what I'm saying. It
could have been so simple.
It feels like it was very obvious that it was for the audience. Like, well, the audience haven't seen the connection he's had with his daughter, so we're gonna make him more connected to this boy who's really helped him and brought him around. But the thing is that like it just was very obvious to me.
It was very overwritten,
yeah. And then I also thought that Anthony Mackie's performance was fine, but like I thought his storyline about him like being such a selfish dad who like just more caring about his own business than it is, but then like the wife and everyone just kind of like goes and like caters to him.
Yeah.
But then at the end, it's like he redeemed himself by like putting himself on the line.
But the thing is, they could have done that so much better, because me and you both, we were like, okay, the dad's going to redeem himself by like helping Ernest at the end or whatever. Like, it's obvious. But then it's like when the movie grinds to a halt at the end of the second act, it's like he talks to his son and he has a whole dialogue where it's like, I should have been a better father. And it's like all of this stuff where it's like simple and it could have been effective in the story just like is wasted because they have to have these speeches.
Tig Notaro's character, who is an FBI agent who kidnaps the ghost, I thought it was good that she let him go, but Ernest go. But the thing is that like
it was so silly.
I thought that it was going to be more interesting if she was the daughter, because the whole storyline that was fed was that Randy like stole money, left his daughter, and then basically ran out, and that's when he ended up getting like accidentally like he just disappeared.
I thought it would have been a little far-fetched if that was his daughter, but then again, the whole movie's so far-fetched that I don't think it would have mattered. What bothered me is that Tig Notaro's character starts off as like some lady that the kid sees on YouTube, and then she is contacted by the FBI. She has this whole side plot where she goes from being kind of like just a whatever side character to becoming increasingly more like evil and just like abusing this family, coming into their house and being like, I'm going to like get in your shit, you know?
Yeah, but then we're led to believe that she just turns good.
No, exactly. It's literally just like for no reason at all. Like she has a moment with him where she just looks at him and is like, wow, you're real. I'm actually good now. And lets him out. And it's so, I thought like, oh wow, it would have been so much more interesting if maybe the son and his girlfriend are planning to like go there and try to break Ernest out of his facility or something, right? Then the dad finds out, and then the dad's like, well, you're going to do it anyways, I might as well help you. And that's how he redeems himself. Something like that. Instead, it's just like Tig Notaro, the evil woman who gets him there, after one scene is just like, actually, I'm going to let you go.
Well, I think she let him go because her boss turned out to be even more evil, because he said like, well, he's dead, so he has no rights. So they're going to like hurt him, poke him around, and do whatever they want with him. And I think like somehow her humanity kind of like,
I don't know. It's like, what did you expect?
Came
like,
to light.
She was being so awful beforehand. You'd think she wouldn't have any problem with that.
Yeah, it was very like
just very convenient.
Yeah, exactly. I also think I don't get Anthony Mackie's and his wife's character, because it just seems like they don't like, he's just a horrible husband.
Yeah, he just seems
when they talk
awful.
about like how they're in the positions that they are, like when Kevin talks about like he used to be close to his dad, but then like as he grew up, he saw like how selfish his dad was and all those things.
And then the dad gets all the character stuff. The mom really doesn't.
No,
she doesn't have anything to do.
She doesn't have any like arc really, and it was kind of like plain. I really like that Kevin and his girlfriend like arc, that it was like not forced and it was kind of more teenager.
I liked the relationship they had. I did like the kid. I thought he was good. I liked his relationship with his girlfriend. One scene, however, was so uncomfortable. Was when they're at the motel.
Oh my god, yes.
And Ernest is like trying to get these like
teenagers,
underage teenagers to like have sex, and he's like, and he doesn't say anything. He never has any dialogue. So it's just like, I kept saying like, oh, it'd be so funny if at the end of the movie they find out who he actually is, and he's some kind of like serial killer, like horrifying crimes, and they're like, oh, okay.
I thought it'd be fun if he was Dexter.
But of course it's he was a wonderful guy that happened to get murdered by his friend or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And also it was very stupid, I thought, because they literally the reason that he was killed was because the wife was like wanted a baby and couldn't, like, it was just so like, really?
Well, they made it very like sexist, where they were like
Very
the
sexist.
wife, like he was the only, his wife had died, and his friends couldn't believe that a father could raise a child alone, and they were in need of a child themselves. So they were like, well, you don't
Just
need a
kill
child.
him.
You can't like take care of her alone. So might as well kill you and take your daughter so we can fulfill our like child fantasy.
So such a dumb like mystery when it was resolved. And oh my God, I can't believe I almost forgot this. I think I blocked it out. Climax of the movie was so funny because you have literally like an 80-year-old man, like you have Joe Biden fighting off a family of 4 strong guys, and this guy just looks like Joe Biden wielding like a knife or whatever, or a gun, and it's like they tackle him multiple times and he keeps getting up. He's like Michael Myers, like he has superhuman strength. It is so funny. Did you find it funny? I thought it was ridiculous.
I thought it was like ridiculous. I want to highlight some of the good moments.
Like what?
I really love like what you were talking about.
Jennifer Coolidge scene, right?
Yes. It was the funniest thing. And I thought it was the most realistic because she's like used to going into the houses where she's pretending that she believes. And
No,
like,
that was the
"It's
best
okay.
scene. Yeah.
We just put the hologram or something, whatever.
Yeah.
On. Like just put that on. Like she's just like ready to get over it. And then Ernest just goes all crazy and wild and tries to act like the Ring and really.
Yeah. I also like when they take him out of the house the first time and everyone's chasing him.
Oh
It's like a
yeah. Just the followers that he had.
Yeah.
I thought that it was good moments. I honestly thought it was funny. There is stagnant moments, like I stated, but I thought it was funny. I think our dogs want us to finish
I think
the
we
review.
have to conclude.
Yes.
Thank you for watching, everyone. Let us know what you thought of the video, and we will talk to you all later.
Bye.
Bye.